The ultra-compact Taurus Model 94 has become a favorite of .22 caliber shooters everywhere. It's a range Ronin once again, and I happen to have a Taurus Model 94 in for a review. Stick with me, and I will tell you all about it. This channel fully endorses the safe operation of firearms and that firearms must be handled responsibly at all times. Any firearm used for this presentation has been checked and rechecked to ensure safe manipulation of the firearm during any video production. I am going to start things off by just getting into the pros and cons of this diminutive revolver. Among the pros, we have the Taurus Model 94 has a 9-shot cylinder, allowing for plenty of ammunition to be loaded at once. The revolver features an adjustable rear sight, contributing to improved accuracy. The rubber grip provides a comfortable and secure hold, reducing recoil and improving control. The steel frame and cylinder ensure durability and longevity. The transfer bar safety system provides an added layer of protection against accidental discharge. Of the cons, we have that some users may find the 2-inch barrel length to be too short for their preferences. The double-action trigger system may not be as smooth as some other revolvers on the market. The overall weight of the firearm may be slightly heavier than other similar models. The fixed front sight may not be as customizable as some shooters would prefer. Some users may find the price of the Taurus Model 94 to be slightly higher than other similar firearms. After being fired for a while, users may find extracting spent shells to be difficult due to fouling within and tight tolerances of the chambers. The Taurus M94 boasts a host of features that will appeal to quite a few folks. Granted that this M94 has a 2-inch barrel that might put some off, but that barrel length dictates that this is a revolver for close-in work and can be carried in a pocket for deep concealment or even in a hip carry holster for quick access. The M94 has a very decent set of sights and not the usual groove in the frame for the rear sight. The front sight is a nice and high ramped unit with a red plastic insert that is very easy to pick out against the fully adjustable for windage and elevation notched rear sight, which has a white outline for obtaining a good sight picture. The muzzle is nicely crowned and incorporates an integrated ejector rod housing. The barrel is nicely mated to the all-steel frame and exhibits a forcing cone to cylinder gap of less than 2/1000 of an inch. That is an extremely tight tolerance, with 4/1000 to 8/1000 of an inch being an industry standard. The 9-shot cylinder, also of blued steel, has some cylinder side-to-side play when in full lockup, but not enough to warrant any concern. No fore-to-aft free play was detected. The chamber area of the cylinder is recessed to allow those 9 rounds of .22 caliber ammunition to rotate freely around the cylinder rod. The ejector rod is very short, which might prove to be problematic when trying to rid the cylinder of .22 long rifle rounds, although .22 short ammunition may not be a problem. As you will see during the range segment, ridding the chambers of spent cases took a special tool. The cylinder is secured at the top of the crane, the cylinder stop, and at the rear of the cylinder, of which can be released by pressing the cylinder latch forward, just like a Smith & Wesson revolver. One may notice the key lock safety on the rear of the hammer. To me, at least it is better than above the cylinder release as found on Smith & Wesson revolvers. And speaking of the hammer, it is a small and sharply textured unit, which is necessary for one to get a thumb hold on it for cocking into single-action operation, which of course the M94 is capable of operating. The M94 has a very stiff hammer spring, and it will take some effort by the thumb to move that hammer into a single-action operation cocked position. Note that the M94 does use a transfer bar safety system that prevents the revolver from firing unless the trigger is pulled. And speaking of the trigger, it is a nicely shaped unit with a rounded and smooth face that is nicely positioned within a smooth and rounded trigger guard. Trigger pull weight for double action operation taxed the limits of my trigger pull gauge. I would put the DA trigger pull weight as somewhere around 12 pounds. But that said, the trigger is smooth and quick, with no indication of stacking or staging. The single action trigger pull weight, however, is very nice, coming in at 2 pounds 9.5 ounces with a crisp break and no detectable over travel. The grip, surprisingly, is one of my favorite handholds. Normally one might find a boot-style grip on a snub-nosed revolver, but the M94 has an excellent grip of rubber and is at an angle that should please most hands. I am able to get all of my shooting hand digits on the grip with no pinky overhang, and that pleases me. Finger grooves are well spaced for my hand, and the grip has a palm swell, which feels very natural, at least to me. Although being a small frame revolver, it does have some heft to it, at 1 pound 8.7 ounces unloaded. It is definitely not a lightweight, and I am alright with that, especially when shooting it. And that is where I'm heading to next. Well, it's raining like mad today. Perfect for an indoor range trip. With a partial box of CCI Mini-Mag Varmint 36 grain copper plated hollow points, with a stated velocity of 1,260 feet per second at the muzzle, it would be interesting to see how they performed from a 9-shot revolver with a 2-inch barrel. A fellow shooter friend of mine was at the range. He is an avid reloader and offered up his chronograph just to see what these rounds would do. I took him up on his offer for the first 2 shots. The first shot came in at 918 feet per second, and the second shot came in at 921 feet per second. 342 feet per second and 339 feet per second slower than the rated velocity. This was not unexpected, as the ammunition is rifle rated with a much longer barrel than this revolver has. Still, 918 and 921 feet per second with a 36 grain hollow point bullet is not something that I would want to be hit with. Anyway, let's get to the rest of the shooting part. All in all, I was actually surprised at the results from this little snubby revolver. Taurus M94 did not perform all that bad, in my opinion. The double-action trigger pull is on the heavy side, which is not unexpected from a revolver of this caliber. A target gun, it is definitely not, but for something to stick in a pocket for defending oneself from furry forest creatures, it just might work for that. Or maybe for a small gun to have while fishing. Whatever. We can almost always find a use for a .22 caliber handgun, can't we? In the features segment, I mentioned that a special tool was used to rid the chambers of expended cases. We all know that .22 caliber ammunition is very dirty, and that dirt may lead to issues. The issue with the M94 was getting rid of expended shells. The ejector rod is really too short. Coupled with expanded shell cases, tight chamber tolerances, and powder fouling means that sometimes some help is needed. Help, for me, came in the form of the .22 caliber shell ejection system model 022126, the plastic box in which the ammunition was stored. In fact, several times it took several hits of the box on the end of the ejector rod to get those pesky spent shells to evacuate the premises. I just thought that I would let you know that if you are at the range or in the field with the Taurus M94, you might want to keep a special tool handy for ridding the chambers of spent shells. You can thank me later. Well now, let me get to my final thoughts on the Taurus Model 94. The Taurus Model 94 is a versatile and reliable revolver that offers impressive performance and accuracy. With its 9-shot cylinder, adjustable rear sight, comfortable rubber grip, and durable steel construction, this firearm is well suited for both recreational shooting and small game hunting. While there are some minor drawbacks to consider with this 2-inch version, such as the short barrel length and slightly heavier weight, the overall quality and reliability of the Taurus Model 94 makes it a popular choice among gun enthusiasts. The Taurus Model 94 is, however, also available in longer barrel lengths, such as the 4-inch and 5-inch barreled versions. Whether you are looking for a reliable firearm for target shooting or small game hunting, the Taurus Model 94 offers impressive performance and reliability at an affordable price point. With its range of features and specifications, this revolver stands out among similar firearms on the market. Overall, the Taurus Model 94 is a well-designed and reliable firearm that is suitable for a variety of shooting activities. Well, that finishes up my review of the Taurus Model 94 compact revolver. I hope that you found it useful. More firearm and firearm-related reviews are in the mill, and I hope that you will join me for them. Until that time, take care of yourself, be vigilant, be armed, and be safe wherever your journeys take you.